Okay. So it's recording.
It's recording.
Okay, good. Okay, today is August the 5th.
Right.
August the 5th, and I have the pleasure of having Akram Abdullah here with me today. And I'm going to ask him a few questions. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
That's
so make it a little bit personal. So if you don't want to answer any questions, it's okay.
fine. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, so the first question here, so let me set up the scene. How old are you now?
Oh, 56.
56, had to think about that, huh?
Well, yeah, you get up there, you got to start counting. Right.
So some of these questions are gonna have you to kind of reflect back to when you were like 18 or as a kid to like understand like your thought process and like who you are today. So it's kind of gonna go in the area where if you were 18, would you do things differently and why? You know, those type of things, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right, so we'll get started. So after high school, would you go to college, you go to the military, or would you take a break and try to decide where you wanted to land straight out of high school?
If I had to do it over again, I would go to the military. Yes, I would.
And why would you do that?
For a better security, being an African American male.
And what type of security do you think that it would have brought you?
I think it would have brought me more general public acceptance.
I don't understand that.
When you're young and African American, you can come across as someone who's not tuned in to self-discipline, you know, and when you walk into the public, like regular store, grocery store, clothing store, even fast food, the general public can get the impression that you're there to take advantage of them as far as to get something for free or not want to pay or actually steal. You know, so the general public, white, black, it don't matter. They all of them, you know, they can put you in a category of being irresponsible because of your young age and possibly upbringing on site. And then, you know, how you dress and how you speak plays along in that. But if you join the military, one of the things that you do initially is, you know, you take an oath, you know, and that's something that you are you're supposed to give thought to, and also you've taken a test to show that you are educated enough to like pass a general criterion to get into the military, and that says a lot. Matter of fact, just taking the oath, putting your life on the line, and allowing yourself to be used. It says a lot because everyone want to be free, you know. So it says a lot, and you have that. You inshallah you start to have that disciplined personality. You know, they have you dress a certain way, respond to authority a certain way, respond to the images that represent the United States in a certain way. And you're supposed to take that stuff serious. So you look at, you become you start to appear like someone who has a lot of self-control as you elevate in the military. I think it's great for a young man.
So basically what I'm hearing is that being in the military would have given you a certain notoriety of importance.
Yes.
In this society.
In this
as
society,
a black man.
as an African American man.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, you know, my father, he joined the Nation of Islam. That's like back then it was militant. I think it's militant now, and that's more like a military. You know, they had discipline, you know, things like that. And then it goes in his family. He had a large military family brothers and his father was in the military. So he had that image, you know. And when I see that, then I see the military, I combine the two. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for my father and grandfather.
So how long would you have committed to being in the military?
It depends. My family status, if I had a wife and children, you know. It can be hard on a marriage relationship to be sent overseas or sent away over long periods of time. And then if you have children, you have a responsibility to father them or to be present. You know, so if I started early in the military, say 10 years in or so many years in, and I decided to take on a family, get married, have children, you know, all this and that, I would most likely decide to either get in a position where I'm not being sent all over the world or to different parts of the country, or just end it altogether. But I'll definitely stay in long enough to say I've completed the minimum requirements. I think it's what, 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
Right. I would definitely stay in longer than 4 years. But my goal would be to retire. That would be my goal.
Yeah. So that's a great segue into, say, marriage.
Okay.
Do you believe in the unity of marriage?
Yes, I do. I still believe in it. If I was young, traditional way, you know, but being older and have certain experiences behind me, you know, it would have to be, I wouldn't say non-traditional, but it'd have to be some understanding, you know, that this is not necessarily a traditional bond, you know, because more than likely, me being my age, my spouse is going to be just as independent or able to take care of herself or sustain whatever type of life she wants. So we have to have some understanding, you know, because of traditional, you know, the average person think if your spouse don't go along with you, then you're not able to move forward on anything, you know. At least the way I saw traditional marriage, you know. But being someone who could carry the load, and I was doing that even early, but I always had the impression, you know, I got to get someone's input to do what I want to do, the things that's really personal to me. Nowadays, being 56 years old, I would definitely have to be mated to someone who's just as strong as I am and have pretty much the same, we have to be on the same level. She can't be weak, you know, can't marry to with no crybabies, you know, feeling like I'm taking over because they can't control me the way they want to control me, you know. But yes, I still do believe in marriage, but the further up the chain, I guess you could say, that you are, you would need some, I guess you could say, concessions, some additives in there to say, yeah, we married, but we are also independent. You know, my spouse can make a decision without me being present. I don't have to sign on her loan if she wants to get a loan. And I don't have to be the one who's inherit everything she ever worked for. Stuff like that, you know.
Okay.
You know, and it goes both ways, I guess you could say.
So with that level of thinking, what would be the ideal age to get married?
To get married? I was first married at the age of 25. But also at the age of 25 is when my income started increasing to where I can actually take care of my spouse and children without her help. You know, when we first was married, yes, she was working, I was working, but soon afterwards, she decided she wanted to stay at home, and it was a shock, not shock like I didn't want it, but a shock like I didn't expect this, I didn't expect it, you know. I think your age is not necessarily a factor in when it's a good time to get married. I think your ability to be able to take care of children, not necessarily your spouse, but take care of the children that will come after you two coming together. Without her assistance, that's the goal. Without her assistance, so where early age, she depend on you because her value is not financial. Her value is cultivation of the child, you know. Not necessarily you, as far as the man, but you know, you want some, you know, your relationship, you want someone to be kind to you and all this and that. But the relationship, as far as marriage relationship, I think for a man, is when he can take care of his woman, take care of his spouse.
Is that the reason to marry? Is only if you can take care of your spouse?
No, not necessarily, no. If you find a woman that you think fit the criterion of a good mother, take her. If that opportunity arises, take her. You know, secure that future endeavor and make it yours, you know. But you have to be, you know, able to sustain her living. When you marry a woman, you don't come with, I have to buy diapers and baby formula and run back and forth to the pediatrician every other week for the runny nose and the fever overnights and all that, you know. So you're not looking at a whole lot, you know. And more than likely, she like to work and be independent just as much as the husband, because everyone, by the time they get 18, they trying to get their own job, get their own car, get their own money, make their own decisions. They want to be an independent person.
So at 25, is that a good age to get married?
It was a good age for me.
Okay.
I know some people got married before that. And, you know, marriage grows you up. It grows you up. You start taking on responsibilities, make you more independent, make you more responsible, make you more thoughtful of other people, you know, stuff like that. And if you're able to do that by the age of 18, you know, but also you got to have the finances that come with it. Hey, go ahead. You know, some people have the family is, you know, have good businesses, you know, and they just tap right on in there. You jump in the money scheme, you know, it is what it is. If you're born into it, you know, use it, you know, inshallah. You know.
So in your ideal world, how many children would you have?
As many as I can afford.
What's the number? Put a number to it.
10 or more.
10 or more.
Right. Maybe every 3 years have a kid.
Yeah, people don't make families like that anymore.
Mm.
Preference in boys and girls?
Half and half.
Half and half.
Right. And if there's an odd number, more girls than boys.
More girls.
Right.
Any reason?
I'm more gentle towards girls. It's more comforting to be around girls or females, any age. Boys, it's more challenging. I try to press out of them independence, you know. And it's not girls. It's not necessarily like that. I want them to be independent, but I would back down or hold my tongue more, you know, and to keep me sitting down. guess you could put it like that. To have more girls than boys.
Okay.
You know, I love women, all of them. Not in a perverted way. As you know, I just love women. Feminine. That's beautiful.
Okay.
I'm a man. Like God created man. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna move on into, say, religion. What's your religion of choice?
Islam.
Islam.
Al Islam.
And the reason?
Well, the reason is my parents. They wasn't born Muslim or practicing the religion of Al Islam. They made a choice, and when they made that choice, I was between 7 and 8 years old, and I selected a name. And the name I had before, I didn't necessarily like it. I wasn't proud of it, you know. And with my name now comes meaning, you know. And it gave me an identity, something to work towards, and something also to feel comfortable with, you know. But the reason, other than my parents, because I had to reselect once I got into manhood. You know, I make a conscious decision to select your religion. I selected Islam. I guess you could say based on study. But at that time, I was, I'm not sure if I was married. I was real close. All of this, you know, so since it was so long ago, I can't say if I was married or not. I know I was studying. And the Imam asked, have I taken the Shahada? And I thought about it. I said, man, I don't know if I did or didn't. You know, I was in class. I think I did Juma, but I was attending the Ta'alim. I was also attending Juma when I had a chance. And the Imam asked me if I had taken the Shahada. And I didn't think I did. And I went ahead and took Shahada. It was a conscious decision to accept the religion of Al Islam publicly.
So what age were you?
Close to 25.
25.
Could have been 23, 24, 25, right in that area. Definitely 25.
Did your parents take the Shahada? And if they did, what age was it when they accepted Islam?
I take it when I was between 7 and 8 years old. But back during the Nation of Islam, back during that time, I'm not sure if the Shahada was the same as the original Shahada, where you make a testimony that there is no God but one God, and that Muhammad, and we say, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, is his servant and messenger of God. And the nation, matter of fact, not only the nation, but Imam Muhammad, I think that part of the Shahada was that, let me get it right. It had to do with Jesus. I don't want to make a comment on that one, because it was I think one of them was that Jesus wasn't God, but then there was another one where Jesus is also the messenger of God. And I think Imam Muhammad, he explained that back during the time of the Prophet, you know, we say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when the Christians converted over to Islam, the Shahada included that Jesus also is a messenger of God. You know, that's very comforting. You know, and that's Islam. You know, man, well, but this was when the Christians, we don't say converted, we say reverted to Islam. You know, and that's good.
So when you were 7 and 8 years old, were you guys practicing Christians before then?
I remember going to church Easter before those times, before my parents was taking us to the masjid. I remember going to church, sitting in a church in Chicago. It was down the street. They had like a storefront church. They had pews or benches or whatever, and they had service. And I remember one time I think it was Easter, and Easter was different from Christmas. Christmas was more celebrating trees, and then you had the lights, people giving presents. We used to celebrate Christmas, but Easter was quiet. Be quiet, sit still, wear your suit and tie. I had a suit and tie on. It was more strict. Nowadays they try to make everything fun so it can be accepted. Now they got the Easter Bunny going on, and it's a party somewhere in there. But that's their religion, how they try to draw the crowds or the masses to the celebration of these holidays that they have stationed throughout the year. But to tell you the truth, I see Islam. After studying Islam, I don't see a difference between the Christianity and our Islam. I don't necessarily see a difference. I think I understand Christianity better than many Christians. Not to say that I know everything, but I accept Christianity wholeheartedly, just the same I accept the religion of our Islam.
So did you ever ask your parents what made them make the switch from Christianity to Islam?
I never asked them. Maybe I came close to my father. But I knew, just like I knew, when I was younger, I didn't understand Christianity. And it was insulting to say Jesus was the Son of God. And I'm pretty sure my father was born in 45, my mother was born in 42. By the time the 1960s come around, they 17, 18, 19, they grown folk. And this is when they protesting and all that and fighting for freedoms and things like that. And when you bring in a religion that seemed like it's oppressive, they were fighting that too.
So do you think that it came about through the civil rights movement?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. Them jokers. Oh yeah. I remember going, marching down. I think it was Martin Luther King Boulevard in Chicago. We had a parade. It was the nation had a parade, and Imam Muhammad was just elected as the leader. And we had a parade, and there was two sections. I remember we was like in the middle. One was in the front, and the other one like a mass group of people in the front, and a mass group of people in the back. And the front was saying, "Who's the man with the master plan? W.D. Muhammad." And then the other one in the back or the front, one of them was saying, "Save the family, save the family." And then the other group, "Who's the man with the master plan? W.D. Muhammad." And then the other group, "Save the family." And this is the direction that Imam Muhammad put his followers in when he took on, or he was elected as leader. He's the leader, set up the leader, and what's the goal? Save your family. And he got that from the Quran. So
was Imam Muhammad part of the nation?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, his father, was the leader of the Nation of Islam before he became they call him the chief imam. His father had just passed.
Okay.
Right. And then he brought in all these changes, teaching the prayer. Oh man, if you can look back, that was I know it was some hard times, difficult times, put it like that. But he managed to shift the nation to I guess we could use the word orthodox.
Okay.
Or original Islam, the way the Prophet had set it up back 1,400 years ago. He made that switch, and he didn't lose many people.
So you're not in the nation anymore?
No, I'm not in the nation anymore.
Okay.
Right. But I do not criticize them because I know their beginnings. They have reason, they have purpose, and it's genuine. To want to be a free person and to challenge authority when they're not being fair to you or the ones that you identify with. And someone God raised up people to challenge other people, and I think God raised up that religious identity under the Nation of Islam to challenge anyone who mistreats African Americans. You know, so they're needed. I wouldn't criticize them. I probably won't practice the way they practice, but I understand. You know, but with anything, as it grows, it changes. So, you know, maybe they need to change their ways.
And what ways would be that? Let's name one way that you don't agree.
Less racist oriented.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay, switching gears a little bit. So, the most influential person in your life, outside of your parents,
I know I wrote those questions.
outside of your children.
Outside of my children. The most influential people. I guess first would be Imam Muhammad Amin, and then Imam Rashad Sharif, Imam Yahya Abdullah, Imam Muhammad Shakur, Imam Warfdeen Muhammad, Derek Thomas, Reginald Mitchell, Dedrick Parchment. He was a young man, but he had a strong personality. You know, I didn't follow him, but he brought me in and gave me friends. His friends was my friends. All the other ones, they were leaders, you know. And I can't remember any of my college professors. Those was mostly older white military men. They challenged me. I would say my children. When you said that, I thought that was great, because when them bad boys came around, I had muscles I never thought I had. Oh man, I had so much energy, didn't get tired. You know, that was, boy, oof. Man, we were gonna make that thing work. You know. But you say other than them. Other than them.
Okay, so you named quite a few people. So if you had to rank them 1, 2, 3.
Oh, in order.
That was in order.
In order.
Okay.
If you read them back, in order. I think first was Imam
Muhammad
Amin. Muhammad Amin. That's his name. That's his last name. Muhammad Amin. And then Rashad Sharif. And Yahya Abdullah.
Yeah.
And then Muhammad Shakur.
So you did it in order.
That was in order.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, most influential religious figure.
Oh, Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Prophet Adam, alayhi salam. Isa, which is Jesus, alayhi salam. Prophet Moses, alayhi salam. Prophet Ibrahim, alayhi salam. Alayhi salam means upon him be peace. And sallallahu alayhi wasallam means may God's prayers and peace be upon the Prophet. Those are ones that comes to mind.
Okay. So, I'm assuming that you rank these.
Yes, I guess you can say yes. But Adam is the biggest. Adam is bigger than all of them.
And why is that?
Because he's the first. All of them is patterned after Adam. Whatever is in them is in Adam. So the bigger they get, the bigger Adam gets. You know, Adam is the man. That's why my son is named Adam when I realized that. Because if I have another son, I'm going to name him Adam. And my current wife was okay. She was cool with it, so it happened. And Adam, I'm talking about my son Adam, the young man Adam. He got it. He got it. You know. But you know, Imam Muhammad, he say that we, how did he put it? We have the capacity is in us. You know, and once you learn of your capacity, what you can take and give out, it's in there. But you gotta develop it. You know, that's how God made us, with the capacity to take on His word and then use it.
Yeah.
You know, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Okay. So switching gears, what's your favorite movie of all times?
Oh well, the earlier movies. I can't say I have one when I was a young person, but the main movie that come to mind is The Matrix. 1, 2, and 3. It's 3 of them. And then I really like the way that they did this Marvel series. Then they summed it up. What was that? The End Game, and then also the Infinity War, Avengers. I think Infinity War was the first one, and then End Game was the last one. They did a terrific job. I take my hat off to them. Those guys, they did a really good job. I also like Spider-Man. I know they have several of them out there. I think it was the No Way Home, where they brought in the 3 Spider-Mans. And they went. Is that right? Let me go try it on. Hold on a second. Did I leave that on?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so with your favorite movie, I'm assuming that you rank these as you were speaking about them.
Yes.
I'm going to pick The End Game. Why is that one of your favorites?
Oh, because they concluded it. They concluded it. It was a good build-up, and they didn't leave the public hanging. You know, they brought back, gave the people hope. You know, that the bad guy not gonna win, because they crushing folk. They crushed a whole lot of folk. I'm pretty sure some people had to go to the psychiatrist after watching that Infinity War. I'm pretty sure, because they have a lot of fans. All these superheroes, Marvel superheroes. You know, I'm a comic book collector. You know, well, you know, I used to be, and those stories go way back. You know, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And Infinity War, boy, you know, especially when he threw that lady off that mountain like that. Man, I bet a whole lot of people in the movie theater, they were going down with him. Ah! It ain't funny, but it is funny. I'm pretty sure they had to call their psychiatrist. We need to come talk about this one. You know, but yeah, The End Game. I thought they did a great job, and at the end of it, you know, you feel that burst of energy. Had your hair standing up on your head when Captain America picked up that hammer, you know. And then, oh man, especially when the masses came back from being gone, just in time, you know. That was beautiful. You know, bring tears to your eyes, you know, watching that, you know, because the dude was outnumbered. I feel him too. Whole city to one. He strapped that shield on that broken shield, as a matter of fact, on his arm. Yeah, I take all you know. And then the posse came. He didn't even know they were back there. You know. I understand that concept. I take on all y'all.
So that's one of the questions that I'm gonna ask. Like, what's the one lesson that you've learned or have taken away after watching that movie?
Oh, is never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Okay. When all odds are against you.
There you go. There you go.
I love it.
Me too.
Favorite song? What's your favorite song?
Oh man, that's a hard question. You know, over the past 5 or 6 years, I've been listening to a lot of Christian music,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and very spiritually uplifting. Um, um, it really helped me during my times of struggle over the past 5 years. I had some struggling situations that I had to go through, and I was outnumbered greatly. At least I felt outnumbered, but God was with me, and He sent His angels, and I think one of those angels He sent was Jesus Christ. That comes with this spiritual music, Christian spiritual music, you know, and then my understanding of Islam and how it categorized Isa or Jesus. I understand that music is as if it's coming straight from the Quran, you know. But some of the heavy hitters, such as Jen Johnson, Stephanie Gritzinger, I think that's how you pronounce it, Audrey Assad, what is that? I don't think it's Round Rock, but it's some rock worship group. They're really good. I mean, you listen to that, man, you can be on your deathbed. You will rise up off that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious too. It motivates you spiritually. You be able to take on the world. You know, and that stuff is real. You know, and then, you know, just it's real simple phrases. Many of them is straight from their text, the biblical text. Just, you know, 3-4 word, repetitive, repeated over the course of a song, a short song. Very powerful, very powerful. You know, and you walk around as if God is with you, which He is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but He's with everybody. That's His role. You know, that's why who He is. That's who He is. You know. But yeah, but I don't have a specific song that I can name right now. And I like rap music.
Mm-hmm.
I think you asked me this before, and I think I left out Public Enemy. Yeah, they got me through college, singing their songs. Public Enemy, they had that overtone of the Nation of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they help a brother out.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me go on and move on to the next set of questions. So, knowing how your personality is and things that you like, don't like, have you ever been intimidated by somebody who may have had a bigger personality than you? And if so, how did you react?
Intimidated by someone who had a bigger personality.
Mm-hmm. Bigger personality where maybe they have been like intimidating.
Like they gonna beat me up or something?
Bullying. Not so much beat you up, but sometimes people have strong personalities and you don't know how to deal with them.
You mean like they run the show?
Yeah, maybe so. Have you ever ran across any?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't in sports, so I didn't come across a situation where I had to be competitive on the field or on the court or something of that nature. Not in a organized way. I've had it where we played street ball, and I was, pretty much the last one picked because I was so small or smaller than the rest of the fellas that's out there. And usually I was the youngest. And, so I didn't really appear to be, much use on the asphalt football game or the dirt basketball court, but I didn't. It didn't turn me away from wanting to compete. I just waited to get picked.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yes, maybe. Not a whole lot, but yeah, I've been in a fight before.
So, when you got into a fight, was there somebody that you were scared to challenge? That you got into a fight and you probably went into it maybe a little hesitant because you say you were small. So, or was it always somebody that you knew that you could handle?
I can recall one fight I got into where me and my sister was on the playground at school. We was leaving school, and there was this guy who usually, I guess, he picked on me. I guess, but he was known as, pick on people. I couldn't have been. Maybe we was in Copernicus. I think Copernicus. I was 4th and 5th grade. I'm not too sure about the 3rd grade. And he started in on me, and I took my coat off and my jacket and put my book bag down. Said, "Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna fight you today." And I put my dukes up. As soon as I did this hit, my sister flew past in front of me, and she was swinging and swinging. I was left like this. Like, wait a minute, hold up. And then all the crowd came in and got between me and them, and he was bigger than me and my sister, and he had grabbed her, and she was in trouble, and the people, I guess, they pulled her apart, and I think she was in trouble because he was a bigger guy, and he was aggressive toward her, and I could see it in her face, because he had her, like, I guess he had his hands around her neck, and her eyes were big, but she was still swinging, and then they broke it all up, and she was still trying to fight.
Never give it up.
Never give it up. That's who she was. That's who she was.
Amazing.
Right. And when I was at Dulles, she used to fight in Dulles for me, and she had a stance. She'd have her hand up and she'd do like this, boop. Boop.
Like Popeye.
Yeah, like Popeye, exactly. And a lot of during those days, I didn't necessarily know to fight, and she'd jump in and fight for me, And it wasn't until I started taking karate from an uncle. We was in Copernicus, and this is when I decided to stand up to that dude. And I think I had another fight on the playground. Other than that one, she wasn't around. And then I had a fight in the neighborhood. We were staying with my mother's sister, one of her older sisters, and her son was older. He's like a teenager, or probably in his 20s, I don't know. He teaching us karate, and I was out on the street, even coming home. I think I was coming home from the store, and a few guys who lived in a couple of houses down up the block, and I'm coming down the block, and they stood out in front of me, and they had sticks, and they challenged me. So I picked up a stick, and we were fighting with sticks out there, but I knew karate, and I was using my moves and stuff.
Look at you.
Yeah, I was. It wasn't even a second thought. And I'm swinging my swing and throwing the sticks and I'm blocking things, It was like, wow.
How old were you?
I had to be somewhere between the 4th and the 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then my cousin who taught me karate, he come running up the street and stopped everything. And that was the conversation in the house. What he had to break up. He said, "This guy was swinging sticks and everything." But soon after that, we moved to on Aberdeen, and we stayed on Aberdeen for about a year or so. And then from there, we moved to Memphis. That was some tough years after moving to Memphis, and I sort of lost that I'm Bruce Lee mentality.
Yeah.
I lost that. It was more like, man, I don't want to be here. So, that was that.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little bit, but it kind of taps into the karate thing.
Okay.
Where's your confidence level?
Right now?
Right now, and then what was your confidence level then?
Right now, my confidence level is more high on a daily basis than weak confidence. Sometimes I can, I don't want to say it's lack of confidence, but I have an understanding that I need to be aware of my surroundings, and I need to have a strategy on how to handle myself if anything gets out of line, And I wouldn't say it's lack of confidence. It's like strategizing on how to get through the day, or achieve a certain goal, something of that nature. But I wouldn't call it lack lack of confidence. And back when I was young, at a point, I guess I could have been considered a crybaby. That was back in Chicago when we was living in the Parkway Gardens, and that was when we was in Dulles. And I wasn't really a good fighter. My sisters used to beat me up when we had little disagreements or whatever, you know. But I would cry more than take on a challenge. And it wasn't really until my cousin taught me karate, you know, where it would, you know, grew some courage, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But since I was used to fighting, because we was doing different moves, you know, it wasn't necessarily fighting where I had to defend myself. It was more like I had been trained to behave like this, you know. And then also, come to think about it, before we moved over there with my mother's sister, at one time, you know, it was only, I think it was one day, couldn't be no more than 2 days, that my uncles, my father's brothers, had me out boxing the kids in the neighborhood. And they showed me a few punching moves in the house, and then they had some extra sets of gloves, and we went outside and they found me some opponents, you know. And at first I got beat up because they was wild. They went wild on me. And then after I finished crying and they calmed me down, and I went wild too, you know. And I knocked that guy down, knocked him in the bushes or the flower bed or whatever. And I did 2 or 3 of them like that.
Why do you think your uncles did that to you?
They were young men and mischievous.
Oh, so do you don't think that maybe they seen where you was a crybaby and they wanted to toughen you up?
It could have been, but no. Could have been, but I thought it was more mischievous, being older, you know. Right.
Okay. So I would assume that based on your confidence level now, that do you love yourself? You in love with yourself, or you can improve on the love for yourself?
I'm not. I don't try to be boastful, but I'm proud of myself on how I handled myself through my hard times, and how I didn't abandon my post, even though I was requested by powerful people asking me or threatening me to leave my post, you know. And I'm proud of myself on how I responded. I didn't just go off, but nor did I run away, and nor did I give in as far as accepting what was put in front of me from their point of view. You know, and I feel that I've been, to be quite honest, I feel God is with me. He had given me permission, even if I use curse words. God says, okay, you let them know how you feel. You know, you don't let them go by thinking that you okay with what they did to you. You let them know, you know. And if you got a curse, I don't use any obscene words. I try not to use any obscene words, but I do use words that gives an exclamation point. You know, that exclamation point, boop, put that dot at the bottom. I try to use words that put some force behind how I feel, and let these people who did me like that, let them know you were wrong, you know.
So let's get into that. What people did you wrong for you to put yourself in that type of position?
Lawyers. I had some lawyers. And the whole judicial system. You know, they drug out, giving me an opportunity to speak for myself in full view of me taking care of my responsibilities.
You want to elaborate a little bit more on that, or you want to just leave that there?
It may be good for you to leave it right there. They want to use one of them exclamation point words, you know.
Okay, so we're getting ready to conclude the interview. Just a few more questions. How do you feel at this very moment?
I feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah, I feel good. I just recently lost my auntie, maternal auntie, and was it 2 years ago? Or was it last year I lost my mother? Was that last? What's this?
2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago I lost my mother. Her sister passed almost a week ago. I think it'd be a full, no, 2 weeks.
Tuesday.
It was 2 weeks?
Tuesday. She passed Tuesday.
This past Tuesday?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, no. Well, yes. Because I was gonna, yes, you're right. I'm saddened, but I'm also know that she lived a full life, and I'm glad she was able to experience this day and time, because I think this is a great day to live, or to have lived up to this point. I think it's a great time. A lot of opportunities, a lot of help, a lot of even playing fields, you know. And I think it's a marvelous day to live.
Mhm.
I really do. For men and women, African American or whoever you are. I think it's wonderful times. I really do. Above, when you look at the whole picture, you know. But that's me. I'm not without, and also I'm not without resources or hope or any other thing that's needed in the life of a person. I'm not without those things.
That's a blessing.
It's a big blessing.
Okay, so now that we all in a lovable state and we're feeling really good, have you truly loved another person other than your parents, siblings, and children?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Pretty much everybody I know.
Everybody you know?
Pretty much. I have good, honest, heartfelt, heart-deep feelings. Pretty much everybody I know. I don't know many people, but if I know you, I love you.
That's interesting.
Mm.
So you love the people that you work with?
Yes, I die for them.
You truly love them there.
Yes.
Do
What
they
I-
feel the same way about you?
They don't have anything to do with it. What I do for a living, I work with hazardous materials, and I am a senior, so I'm responsible for other people and what they do when they work on the equipment that I work on. So I give them the best advice that I know, and I tell them to stop if I have to, no matter what level of authority that they possess on the job. I take full ownership of that equipment, and I call that love.
Okay. What's the definition of love?
Work.
Work? That's it?
That's the best other verb that I can use to describe love.
If somebody was looking at this interview and they didn't understand what you meant by work, can you break that down a little bit further?
The ability to work for someone else.
That's love?
That's love from my position. That's how I know love.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add to this interview, the conclusion? Because I don't have any more more questions at this time.
No, I really appreciate it. Man, I really do. I don't think I felt. Usually, when me and you have conversations, it's a little different from when we had the interview over there.
Yeah.
But other than when the camera was on and we have conversations, I think I'm able to express some things in a certain way to get you to understand how I feel or how I think, other than the way you think, give you a different perspective. And sometimes I think I do it very well, and I think that's why me and you have a continual relationship, a communication relationship. Relationships go in, more than one type, And I think one of the types of relationship that we have and that we have well is our ability to communicate with one another. And I haven't had this type of relationship. At least I don't think I did. Maybe someone may say, we used to talk. I said, yeah, but I wasn't equipped. This is just just started me with the understanding that these two religions are the same. This is not something I was originally started with an understanding. So I'm in that area now where I'm not a criticizing of Christianity or those who practice Christianity. If I'm criticizing, it's more, let me give you some clarity on what this is being said from an Islamic point of view. Because these two religions are the same. It's just one was revealed in a different time zone than the other one. And I know we went and seen this movie called Spider-Man, where they brought in the 3 different Spider-Mans that they had play this role over a long period of time. And that concept was on big screen. You had these 3 different characters. Everybody knew, well, mostly everybody knew, the person, the people was different, but all of them played the same role. I thought it was beautiful. And that's the view that I have. So when I think about Christianity now, that's a good representation how they brought those 3 characters in. And each character represented Spider-Man in different points of time. And everybody in the audience would agree all of them were Spider-Man. Authentic Spider-Man. But all of them was different, because all of them played that role in different points of time. And in that movie, they brought them all together at the same time. And could no one in the audience negate either one of them of the authenticity of their Spider-Man character, even though the characters was different. Different in powers and also different in features. It was beautiful. Whoever made that movie, they are a student of Imam Muhammad. Imam Muhammad brought that out in one of his lectures. It was beautiful. Very profound, very profound. So I see Christianity and Islam sort of in the same way. So I openly would say there is no difference between the religions. It's just one was revealed in one point of time versus the other. But both of them authentically is from God. It's just different expression. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, I appreciate you giving me your time today, and hopefully this is viewed by people who can understand.
Hold on.
Understand you on the deeper level.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Look at you. You want to turn the camera off?
I don't